This is Cliff Evans. I'll be talking with Earl Robinson going in 5. Earl Robinson, you did a first-class job last year as a rookie outfielder with the Baltimore Orioles. But the question that seems to come up is, do you have enough power in your bat to play regularly? Now, how do you feel about that?
Do you mean in reference to power of hitting the ball out the ballpark or batting average-wise?
Well, let's look at any way you want to. As far as hitting the ball out of the ballpark, that's one thing. For example, as I recall last year, the statistic shows that you had 59 hits for the season, total bases 101, right?
Yes, that's correct.
That does not show great power, and that's what I mean.
Well, actually, I can hit the ball out of any ballpark in the major leagues, and that's right field or left field, and some ballparks in center field if I hit the ball well. I'm strong enough to, but I think the main thing that you're trying to get at is whether I can hit consistently enough in reference to base hits. I think that it takes a bit of adjusting from the minors to the majors, knowing your pitchers a little better and knowing your own pitch and your own capabilities. And I think that I'm on the road to improve them. Of course, I haven't gained completeness yet, but I hope that in a period of time I will be able to. But I think that I am in the right direction.
Well, there's no question that you're a first-class ball player. There's no question about that. As a matter of fact, last year you started, I think, the first 10 weeks just as weak as any player possibly could, hitting 140. But from June 20th until the very end of the season, you're up there with a very respectable 309, so one doesn't question your talent. Earl Robinson, you suffered a great deal from injuries last year. Matter of fact, during July and August of last year, you were kept on the bench for a total of 30 days. Now, what troubled you?
Well, actually, what happened was in Washington, the earth is a little soft there, and running to first base, I pulled a growing muscle. And later in the year, with just a freak accident, I was coming into my locker room. I picked up some shoes from the trainer, and then I went to sit down in a real huge seat, and I missed the seat completely and fell on the concrete in my locker, and I injured my back. And so this is just a very freak accident that kept me out.
Again, let me point something out, Earl Robinson. There doesn't seem to be any question that you're going to stay in the major leagues. That seems to be the feeling among baseball people. And they point to the fact that last year against the Minnesota Twins, you were a little bit of a slugger. You batted .424 against them, even hitting 4 home runs. What made the Twins pitchers, and they have respectable pitchers, of course, what made those pitchers so easy for you?
Well, I don't know whether they were comparatively easy or not. I just think that
they had to be comparatively easy if you hit that well and hit that hard.
Well, perhaps I was in a little better condition when I played these particular teams. I had played a few more games going into those particular series, and I had a great deal of luck with him, and I hit the ball well against Minnesota.
All right, let me ask you this. You're from California.
Yes,
you
sir.
started in the system with the Los Angeles Dodgers. When you came up to the major leagues, you came up not with the Los Angeles Dodgers, but with the Baltimore club. Is there any feeling of chauvinism? Is there any preference on your part? Would you have been happier to have come up with the Los Angeles club?
Well, Los Angeles actually is close to my home, and I would have liked to play in the Dodger organization, but I'm pleased to have a chance to play in the major leagues no matter what ball club it is for.
What does it mean to you as a person to be wearing a major league uniform?
Well, it's something that I want to do for a long period of time. I'm very happy that a lot of people made it possible. I'm speaking in reference to Jackie Robinson, one of my idols. And I feel that now in baseball I have one more ambition, that is to perhaps make the public admire me, which every ball player would like to. But I'd like to have the other ball players in both the National and the American League admire my talent. In other words, be admired by your fellow ball players. This is one of my ambitions.
Have you ever met Jackie Robinson?
Yes, I have. We've talked at great length.
Of course, Jackie is from your part of the country, too.
Exactly.
Now he belongs to me because I'm a New Yorker and he's in our area. But when you met with Jackie, did you have a chance to talk baseball?
We talked about a great many things, baseball included. And he's a very, very gifted man and with great insight. And I mean this in reference to adjusting to an individual's personality. And sometimes you want him to say more, but yet he's very, very, very tactful, you know, and I really enjoyed my conversation with the man.
Was there any bit of guidance or advice that Jackie Robinson gave you on your way up to the major leagues?
Well, just a little fire that comes from the man as far as performing, and a few little things that he referred to me in this sense. In other words, to find out about myself and my own capabilities, and then about the pitchers, and take advantage of those particular individuals that I know well.
You said fire. If any of Jackie Robinson's fire passed on to you, Earl Robinson, then you certainly will go a long way, because Jackie Robinson in our time has been the most exciting, the most dynamic, the most upsetting ball player to the opposing pitcher that we've seen. Now, you're a graduate of the University of Southern California. Did you play...
Excuse me, may I correct you? It's University of California. That's in Berkeley, and the University of Southern California is in Los Angeles.
And where did you go?
I went to the University of California in Berkeley. This is actually the larger state university.
Yes.
There. UCLA is the other one in Los Angeles.
All right. Well, let's go back to the University of California where you went. Did you play baseball there? And if you did, did you play any other sports?
I played basketball there, yes.
How many letters did you win?
Let's see. I won 3 in basketball and 2 in baseball. I didn't play baseball my last year because I signed with the Dodgers, and I was also a cheerleader there, which was very exciting for me.
What did you major in at college?
My major was analytical speech analysis.
Is this something perhaps that you will pursue sometime in the future?
Well, I hope to a certain extent. In other words, my main ambition now is to try to develop myself in baseball, and I hope that perhaps in the future I will be able to get some more schooling in this direction.
Earl Robinson, a player's second year, as the saying goes, is supposed to be a jinx year, supposed to be a tough year. It's in his second year, again, as the saying goes, that the other pitchers are supposed to know him better. Do you have any feeling of apprehension towards this, your second year?
Well, all I can say, if the jinx happens, it happens. I hope it doesn't, but if it does, it's just one of those things in baseball. I'll do what I have to do, and I'll do it to 100% of my ability. I will try anyway, and if it works out this way, there is a jinx, there's nothing I can do about it. But I hope that it doesn't happen.
Well, to Earl Robinson of the Baltimore Orioles, first-class player. This is something he certainly proved last year. All good luck to you during 1962 and the seasons ahead. This is Cliff Evans reporting from Miami, the spring training camp of the Baltimore Orioles.